Okay, GM everyone, and another day, another piece of content. So today I'm going to talk about NFTs and a thing called DYOR. So do your own research. It's something that gets talked about a lot. Um, Buyer beware and all that lot. So how do you do your own research? And today, this video is going to be like a worked example. So I'm going to take a look at a project that I'm looking at. Apologies for the dog in the background there, but in VR future, in a future video, I'm going to chat to NFT CEO about the various elements you should be doing. And also on my Twitter account, do follow me, Mr. Yellow 1899 on Twitter. But on my Twitter account, there's also a short video as my pinned tweet about the 6 steps to doing this and what you should do. So I'm going to talk about what DYOR is and what does it mean. Do a worked example. And obviously, none of this is financial advice. NFTs are incredibly risky. You should make your own decisions and you should take your time doing that. And you should be very selective in what you get involved in. And obviously, the level of research and what you're looking for depends a lot about what you're trying to get out of the NFT. Are you looking for a quick flip to make some money before reveal, or are you looking for a project you want to invest in? And you want to understand that the team is good, the roadmap is good, it's deliverable. It's totally up to you. There are many different strategies for trading NFTs. My personal one, based on bad decisions, is really to look for better quality projects, to get less involved with stuff, and to be more selective and buy into stuff that I've got some conviction in. So let's just head on there. So obviously, as I say, I keep thinking about changing this out, but inspiration for this, I got into NFTs because of watching some of Gary V's videos, and a lot of the Nifty Alpha videos as well. So, I want to try and help people. What we're going to do is project reviews, tips and tricks, onboarding information, and AMAs with projects. So this is very much a bit of a tips and tricks and kind of a project review. And my aim really is to help make the space easier for people to come into, make them more aware of stuff, and hopefully not make some of the mistakes that many people do, and try and avoid some of the bad projects and bad actors in the space, and get involved in more authentic projects. So let's chat about DYOR, and then we're going to have a look into this project as well. So by no means am I any expert. These are just some of my thoughts. I'm really interested in the video with NFT CEO to talk through it a bit more and think about what should we be doing in the various elements, and maybe some elements I'm not even doing along the way. But it's not an exact science, but I'm a bit an analyst by trade. So I like to have a bit of a process. So I've kind of laid this out as a bit of a process. So first of all, having a look at the Twitter. So having a look at engagement, how is it growing? Is it organic? Talking a bit about spaces. Does the project do them? How old is the Twitter? Has it just been spun up yesterday? Depending on where you're buying, being spun up yesterday isn't an unrealistic thing in the Solana space. But generally, if you're going for those risky projects, then you may not be bothered about this. This is back to strategy, I suppose. If you're going for those quick flips, you may just be quite happy with a stealth drop on Solana, a Twitter that's turned up yesterday that has loads of people. And looking at the engagement on Twitter, who's involved, who's following it, what are the tweets like, who are they by, all of those sorts of things. So we're going to go into that in a second. Then looking at the website, trying to validate some of that thinking. And none of these are like absolute red flags and you wouldn't go any further forward. Again, what's the quality of the website look like? Who are the team? Doxed or undoxed? What's the roadmap? What else have they got out there? What other social media potentially? So checking that website out as well. And then the third key thing in terms of an NFT project is checking the Discord. Jumping in there, looking at, is it professionally set up? Did you just land? Was there no validation or anything? What sort of channels does it have? What announcements are there? What does the roadmap look like? What's the conversation like in there? Is all the talk from the project team about how we're going to set the floor price after we launch? Or is it genuine questions? Or is it just spam, because a lot of the time the way whitelists are done and things like that, it might just be get to level 10. Is it just garbage, going on? And with all of these, really, what is the responsiveness of the team? Are they in the Discord? Do they respond to questions? Are they active on Twitter? And then, how is the whitelist being done? Are they being quite selective? And again, these are all just, painting a picture for you to be able to make a better decision. And all of those are going to give you information basically on the project details, really. So what does the art look like? That's really important. You may be stuck with this. Are you happy having it in your wallet? Do you like it? Do you vibe with the art? But the art isn't everything, because obviously there's utility and other things. So then, what's the price and how many of them are there? What are the team like? The artists, the devs, what's their experience? Have they done things before with NFTs? Have they done things in real life? What is the roadmap of the project? What are they looking to deliver by when? And what utility is there? Is this just art, or is there staking? Is there a game? Is there all sorts of things that could be attached as additional utility to your NFT? Again, I already talked about the experience piece, and something that really is high up for me as well. And again, I get why people don't do it, but really important to me is, are they doxed? And by that, I don't mean is every member of the team doxed. I kind of don't look for that, but are the founders doxed? Is there someone who could be held responsible if this doesn't work? And I'm not saying if the project doesn't work out. I'm saying if they decide that they're going to mint out and run away with your money and empty the wallet and deliver nothing that they've promised, are there some people that you can actually track back and check? Not that you can necessarily do anything, but it's about building level of confidence, really. And then something I can't really demonstrate in this video, although I'll talk about it because I've already asked some questions of this project team in order to do this video again. But get in there and ask them questions. Ask them on Twitter. Ask them in the Discord. If you've got any questions, ask them. Because that's a really good gauge of a decent project or not. Do you get shut down? Are they rude to you? Or do they answer? Are they really responsive to your questions? And you're investing your money. So there are no silly questions. If you're going to make an investment decision, ask those questions. Don't be afraid. Stand up in Twitter spaces. If you don't understand, ask them. I've never known a good project to treat questions from their community in any other way than decently. And to be fair, if a project does treat you bad for asking questions, that would be, if not a red flag, an amber flag for me. So and the other important thing, monitor it as well. This isn't a case of looking at this once. This actual project is minting out later on in the week. I've seen them in a couple of Twitter spaces of other projects. I actually walked the dog today and listened to one of their Twitter spaces earlier. So keep your eye on it. When it's minting like this, this actually mints on Thursday of the pre-sale. And I think there's going to be about 1,000 whitelist people who can mint up to 5 each. Well, what happened? Have a look, see how many minted out. Check on OpenSea, how many have gone. These are all valid things. Keep going back to the Discord, checking. See what's going on, see what the activity has been, see what the announcements have been. And really, don't succumb to FOMO. Take your time, ask your questions, monitor what's going on, and make your decisions. So ultimately, you're going to come back to adding all these things up, and trust your instinct, trust your gut, make a decision on that, combine all that information together, keep iterating as the project moves forward. Let's be honest, you don't have to mint. You can actually wait and see what the performance is like after mint. Minting is a gamble. If you see what the performance like in the market afterwards, you may pay a little bit more. You may get in cheaper. But most importantly, don't jump into these things. There are so many projects launching all the time. Do your research, trust your gut, make a decision, and don't be afraid to sit out. I say don't FOMO in. Don't be afraid to sit out. There's plenty of opportunities, but you're far better off investing in what you believe in, and you've got conviction in, and you have some level of trust in. By all means, if you're going for that risky 100x, you can, jump on a project that's turned up today and is minting today and is a stealth drop and has no Twitter activity and nobody's doxed. Well, you can, and there is money to be made in some of them. And there's also money to be thrown down the drain. So let's have a look practically now. I'm trying to make this video quite quick, so I'm not going to go deep into the details, but I wanted to go through a real practical example of this. So let's start off from Twitter. So just having a look at the VR Future Twitter. Twitter account looks good. They've got some examples of the art there. So talking about 7777, unique NFTs, aliens and droids unite against the ancients in the metaverse, fight to the end. So gaming element to this. They have got a link tree here, which is very useful. I'll probably come back to that in a minute, where they're actually linking out to the website, the Discord, the Twitter. They've got a TikTok channel, they've got a YouTube channel, and they've got Instagram. So that's great. They're following 515 people, and they've got 3,903 followers. So, not not a brilliant number in terms of 7,777 NFTs, but not bad at all. And probably an important one, when did the account come about? So joined in September 2021. So these guys have been around and have been using the account since then, and they're growing organically. So this isn't one of those, there are some Twitter accounts that are like 250,000 followers, been around a week or so. Now that can happen. You can have something that's superbly interesting to people, really hyped up, but a lot of the time it's a bit too good to be true, so probably shouldn't be believed necessarily. This looks organic. The other thing, if you're brand new to this space and you haven't followed many people, this may not be so relevant to you, but I'm going to touch on it anyway. So the good thing is, before you start investing, start going to some of the Twitter spaces. There's loads on every day. Listen to people, build some trust in them, ask them questions, start following them on Twitter, because that will help you make this kind of judgment call. So in here with this project, I can see that there's a couple of people mentioned and 70 others that I follow who are following this project. So that's a pretty good sign. There's quite a lot of people that I follow that I have some level of faith in, that are into this project. If there were literally none, I would be deeply skeptical, because the NFT world is a small space. You tend to attend things and follow people who have similar tastes to you. So, yeah, that would be a bit of a red flag. And of course, you can look through the details of the followers. So there I am at the top there, and look through who the followers are. And I suppose what you're looking for here really is, do these look like real accounts? And you can always click through. If you're feeling skeptical, just sense check a few of them and click through, and do they look like real accounts or do they look like bots? These look pretty genuine. They seem to be real people. So obviously you got the followers tab, he says, and it stops working. Oh no, I've scrolled too far down. So you can check out the ones that you're following that are following this particular project. And you can also look and see who they're following. Not sure there's much I would necessarily make of these, but I suppose, I'm always kind of looking at the kind of things that they're following. So people like STEM Queen, I know very well as an influencer. There's some good accounts in here like NFT Ethics, Rug Radio, decent, solid accounts that they're following. Rarity Sniper, Rarity Tools, and all look pretty solid. I suppose things that would start to make me worried would be if they were just following what we would describe as the shillers in the space, so the paid marketers who will literally just share any project. But like I say, this isn't necessarily an absolute area who they're following, but again, it's all building a picture as what do you think about the project. And next, I suppose, is just looking at what they're tweeting and what they're saying and what the engagement's like. And again, it's just a bit of a measure. So they've got a video here about the P2E, the VR game they're creating. 2,000 views. It's got some likes, got 100 retweets. Space they're running right now. which I probably should drop into and attend, which is really, really good. Roadmap post, again, plenty of engagement and likes. Some artwork. Interesting to see like projects that they're partnering with for whitelists. So I know really the Apocalyptic Apes community very well. Very good community, very strong project. Not too aware of the others, but certainly just seeing the Apocalyptic Apes there as a collaborator with this project gives me a lot of confidence. Sorry, the dog is kind of moaning a little bit in the background, but another space, I think that's the one I watched earlier. So they actually had STEM Queen on that space. She's got 6,000 followers, a real influencer, but not a paid shiller or anything. You can look through her tweets and see that she's not shilling any projects and doing giveaways and stuff like that, but actually very knowledgeable person, OG in the space. So that again gives me even more confidence. And I think when I was looking earlier, they had a tweet that I wanted to get to. So all of this is for me looking, good and solid. Lots and lots and lots of tweets. With engagement. Yeah, I quite like this one. I've actually downloaded this because I thought that's probably a video in itself. But, something useful for the community, trying to decode some of the language that's bandied around in spaces and things like that, and Discords and NFT projects generally, to try and just make it easier for people. So again, that's a good thing. It's not all project. So that's really good. So overall, Twitter looks pretty good. Like I say, the only thing that I'd probably, go up against is like 4,000 followers for 7,777 NFTs. To be fair, I mean, there's still a good few days left, and that can change greatly. But it's probably going to mean that more than the whitelist, you're going to have a chance in the public sale, but maybe it doesn't sell out in 27 seconds or something. Maybe it's going to take a few hours or a day or so. So, yeah, the other thing, I always like to see the fact that I can message a project, and I did that earlier just to validate a couple of things, and it's probably worth dropping into those things now because when I was just going through the various bits and pieces, I couldn't quite work out whether the team was doxed at all. So I messaged and I asked, and they came straight back and said, yeah, here's the links to the Twitter for the two founders, the co-founders. So you've got one of them, Virgil, and you've got Instagram, and you've got an account that's been around since 2011. Actually an actor. You can go and check out the IMDb and, history of stuff going on there. So able to validate and in real life. And obviously I'll go a bit deeper, but for the sake of the video, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to look at the other ones. So Faz or at Faze. Again, not amazing amount of followers, but wouldn't necessarily expect that. The business that they're in, the film business, the VR business, isn't necessarily a Twitter native social media environment. And again, the account's been around for a long time. So, all building up a picture. I kind of like to see LinkedIn links and stuff like that, but you can delve some deeper on these and see some real information and see what they've been up to. So all in all, Twitter looks pretty sound. Next step on there, just reminding myself, let's have a check of the website. So website, what are we looking for? What's the quality like? Who are the team? What's the roadmap like? And links to any socials. As you've already seen in the link tree, they've got links to other socials, but just looking at the website, looks like a good modern website. You can click to get various ones of these. We've got a video here if we wanted to watch that sort of intro video. Vision, again, sorry for the dog moaning a bit there. You got the vision. So what are they going to do? VR, AR, XR entertainment company with threefold vision, production, building exciting VR content, and offering grants to creators, distribution, hosting festivals and exhibitions around the world, and education. So building global capacity, educational workshops, and training in developing markets. So hoping to build out the world of VR and supporting developing markets to do it. So good vision. The universe. So what is that about? Talks about VR, welcome to the future, technologies, quantum computing, most transformative thing, powerful virtual augmented reality. Looks like a mask. You can learn and play in a virtual world. Gear Technologies, full name is Assisted User Gear. AUG makes this possible. We control the gear through our minds. It takes years. Imagine controlling a massive machine. We share. So this, I think, is all about the game, the VR game that's coming as part of it. So this is kind of the lore relating to the game. And I won't read through all of it. So next part, I can either scroll or just click. So what about Mint? So Mint is actually examples of the artwork. So, you can make your decision on that. I believe in Twitter Spaces earlier, they said this project is a new record. They have over 1,000 traits, 1,000 individual traits. So huge number. And they were saying that was a record. So what's the roadmap look like? This is really important to me. You should always study this. So don't be surprised if a game isn't launching until 2023 or something like that. If you don't read the roadmap and see what they're promising and when. This is a particularly good one because I'm actually seeing the timeline on it as well, which I like to see. So we're in the launch phase at the moment. So there's the Discord launch, the whitelist spots, AR filters for Instagram. Not sure what they are. That's something I can ask next space I attend. VR Future launch event in Istanbul and the Genesis NFTs. Then Q1 2022. So, imminent. Selection of a VR film grant to commence. So giving a grant out to people and helping them produce that. Community to vote on that. VR exhibition announcement. Launch of the VR Future Beta app. VIP access to international film festivals. VR headsets to win. VR merchandise and other prizes. So game out in Q1 2022, beta of the game potentially. So that's good. Q2 2022, participation in top film festivals. Next grant announcements and exclusive airdrops. Probably something to to work out and question what those airdrops are, potentially something to find out a bit more information on. And then Q3, whitelisting, round 2 of film grants, and metaverse utility. So again, coming, and plenty on the roadmap, and looking like it's delivering fairly fast, which is important, depending on how long you want to wait. Because obviously the NFT world moves really, really fast. So if the game isn't around, you've got to be aware that you're going to have to sit on them, and maybe the value, doesn't moon initially, and maybe it even drops a bit whilst some people move on to the next thing, because there are people who just want to flip. And again, decent team, entrepreneurs, producers, artists, VR experts, writers, Web3 developers, and community managers. No links here, no direct links. As I say before, it's quite nice, and I'm seeing it a bit more, to have a LinkedIn link and be able to go through there and really see people's history. I'm not looking for the whole team to be doxed. As I said before, I like to know there are some people accountable. FaZe and Virgil are both doxed. Not sure about the rest of the team because I've just been looking today. And then some FAQs. Again, I'm not really going to go through there. How much to mint? 0.07. I've seen that somewhere else. So a reasonable price. How many are there? What's the app? So mobile application enables each VR NFT holder to compete daily, weekly, and monthly in competitions to win prizes. Okay. Royalty fees 5%. And early access for Genesis holders to the immersive experience in the mobile app, metaverse presence, exclusive access to holder benefits, giveaways, So we've already seen that. So overall, website looking pretty solid. Just going back to my checklist, decent quality website, team details with a follow-up question, a roadmap there that I can understand and make a decision on, and social links linked out in terms of the website there. So there are YouTube, Facebook even. Didn't see that in the other links, Instagram, Twitter, that you can go through and gain even more information. Third major area, check Discord. So, what's the setup like? How many people are in there? What's the tone and type of conversation and engagement in there? Are the team in there and being responsive? And what's the whitelist like? So let's have a quick look at that. So this is the actual Discord. If you're new to NFTs, you may not, necessarily know what a decent Discord looks like, but I'll touch on a few key things. So when you first land here, you shouldn't just get straight into here. There should be some form of validation and rules. You can see here there's collab land join. So you're actually linking up your wallet to join the Discord, and you should get some set of rules presented to you, so you can see their rules there. In terms of numbers, so there's 3646 and there's about 3700 Twitter followers. Bots, where it says that here, don't think that's like bad bots. That's actually bots that the team are deploying, like Collabland and Wick and other things to enable the Discord to run more smoothly. Unfortunately, other bots, I'm not too sure how you can definitely identify them, but you can certainly identify if there's just a load of garbage conversations going on, and if there's massively inflated numbers. Plenty of discords around with like 250,000 in a matter of a week. You can be pretty sure that a lot of those are bots. And you never know exactly how many, but it's not unusual to have 50% bots in a server. It all depends how well the server's set up and how many protective measures they've put in place. So if you have to jump through a couple of hoops to get in the server, it's not a bad thing at all. Obviously, don't disclose anything stupid. Connecting your wallet to Collabland to verify, that's not a bad thing. You can always disconnect the wallet afterwards. So in terms of just overall setup, it's not just one channel. They've got quite a lot of channels. They've got some games down here. They've got support available and feedback from you, and they're looking for suggestions. Do use those things, absolutely. Key sort of things I'm going to be looking at when I land in a server. Well, getting on a whitelist is a good thing. So, have a look at what the criteria are. We've already seen there's some partnerships, but there's also more standard ones about reaching level 9. And then there's also giveaways. Looks like they've added another couple of projects there. I know the whitelist on this one is getting close to being full. So I would expect it to be closed off very shortly. I always look at the announcements channel. It's a real bone of contention for me in many discords. If you're looking at one announcement a week or something like that, you're unlikely to see that in a launching server. But certainly in a project, I do like to see an announcement a day. Note for project teams, which these guys aren't doing, you don't have to tag everyone so that everyone gets pinged. But they're not doing that. But just to have a look, they've got one today, they've got one yesterday, day before, couple, bit of a gap there. But generally, plenty of announcements, plenty of information. And announcements is where, there's loads and loads of discords, there's loads of projects. Announcements is probably the first place I'm going to go to see what's the current state of play, what's going on, is there any Twitter spaces scheduled or stuff like that. You've obviously got lots of other information here, FAQs, official links, events, talks, giveaways. And then further down, kind of the main area here. So you've got roadmap and some information on future projects, but kind of final thing. I mean, if you do know some people already from Discord that you like, it's worth having, or that you trust or know, as well as like. You may like them or dislike them, but you may trust them in terms of their judgment. So you can have a look through there. Again, maybe, in terms of bots, having a look, does it look real? Bit difficult to see. What's the conversation like? What's the communication like? What's the sort of topics we're talking about here? What's the tone of the conversation? Are people getting lambasted in there for asking questions? Is it friendly? I mean, these are all things you've got to make a judgment on. So have a little look. How much are the team involved? If people are asking questions of the team, are they responding? I suppose one of the things that would be a red flag for me, I mentioned it earlier on in the video, would be just constant talk of floor price. So as a member of the community, don't go in there and ask them what's the floor price going to be after mint, because that's just an unanswerable question. But if the project team are just spouting, everyone should set the floor price at this, I mean, that to me is showing the tone. I focus on value. How much value are they going to deliver? How are they going to deliver the roadmap? how they're going to do X and Y after mint, what are their plans post mint, all of those sorts of things. But do jump in there, have a read of the conversation, come back a few times as well. You'll often land in these servers with 250,000, and this is just zooming through. Again, not necessarily a bad thing, because if you've genuinely got that many people, then maybe it is a decent project. But again, it's a gut feel, and it also depends what you're trying to do. If you're trying to flip, that's probably a good sign. You probably don't care that much, so long as it sells out fast and is going to pump a little bit before reveal. Other things you might want to find out about is, when are they likely to reveal? Do they reveal instantly on mint? Or is the reveal planned a few days later? So that's Discord, really. So, overall with this project, again, looking at sort of the conversation, it seems nice. It seems friendly. I was looking earlier that the sort of owner is in there and answering questions that people ask. I've asked some questions and got them answered. So overall, again, not looking too bad. Probably the only negative, same negative. It's not a negative. I like projects that grow organically and are available to people and aren't going to be instantly sold out, causing an insane gas war. But just to be aware of, it may not mint in 2 seconds if that's what you're looking for. But good roadmap, and overall feeling pretty confident about this project. So, checking the art, we've looked at what the art is. You pay your money, he takes your choice on that. To me, it feels a lot more like the utility is important here. We know the numbers, the 7777 and 0.07 team. We can see them. You can check their background is in VR and events. So a decent background, not necessarily NFT native, but have a background in what the utility of this project is going to be. You've got a clear roadmap and stuff is being delivered quite early. You've got the utility of the game and various other giveaways and in real life events. Look to the experience and a couple of docs people. So all in all, with this one, I feel quite decent about it. And what I'm going to do myself personally now is keep my eye on it. So it's minting Thursday for whitelist pre-sale. I've still got a couple of questions. I've still got a few questions that have come up just going through it here. So I'm going to go and ask them, and I'll drop those questions on Twitter. Drop in the spaces, listen to the team, build up my level of trust, probably see what happens Thursday, how many are going to sell, and make a bit of a decision from there, really. Overall, as I say, trust your instinct. My instinct on this one, given the wider picture, given that I've seen them, they are doing spaces, they are engaging the community, they're open to answering questions. I'm not seeing any red flags anywhere. I feel quite reasonable about this one. I think it's quite a good project. So I can, make a decision. And I am going to keep a watching brief. Like I say, if maybe 10 sell out on the pre-sale, then I'm going to be thinking, oh, why, but yeah, and I'll sort of hold back and see. And it does feel a little bit like a project, like you don't literally have to be there the second, but I'm saying that, but that absolutely patently is not true, because These things can run very fast, even with these sort of numbers. There's a good 3-4 more days. Sounds like they're doing Twitter Spaces all week. They're going to engage a lot more people. There could, and as soon as the numbers start going and it shows up on lists, then things can sell out really quick. But certainly it's not one of those where you've got literally no chance if you're not on the whitelist, because worst case scenario, based on the numbers I'm aware of, there's 1,000 on the whitelist who can mint up to 5. So that still leaves 2,777 if everyone takes all of them, which they're not likely to do. So that really is just going through a worked example on DYOR. Looking at this project, you know, overall verdict for me, I like the project. I like VR. I'm not seeing anything that's making me go, this is something to be supremely worried about. So I'm still pretty bullish about this. Bullish being confident about this project. Maybe it's not a quick flip. If you're looking for a quick flip, then maybe it's not that kind of project. And I suspect they'd probably tell you that anyway. I mean, there's always going to be flippers, but yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But in terms of like overall value, roadmap, utility, quality of team, it looks all right. So do your own research and have a look if you're interested. This is just a guide. As I say, I'm gonna have a session where we kind of talk through some of these elements, add elements, look for stuff that's missing. And thanks a lot for your time in watching this. Just want to talk about a couple of other videos if you want them. Please do me a favor. I'm trying to build the channel out, and I am going to do more videos, both sort of informative, but also project interviews, project reviews, getting other guests on here to chat. So please do like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you hit the notification bell, you'll also get a little notification when a video goes live if you want to. And please do add your comments about anything that you'd like to see, any videos you particularly like, anything we can do to help. We're going to do more onboarding videos, you know, really going back to the basics, setting up your wallet, connecting to OpenSea, minting versus buying on secondary, stuff about Solana marketplace as well. Obviously, Solana being a much more rapid fire, much more risky area, much more rapid trading because there isn't gas. Do, as I say, follow me on Twitter. That would be wonderful. Send me any questions that you've got. Have a look at some of our other videos. So, yeah, like I say, Shonen Junk, the last video we did, overview of the project, and also some explanation of the DMCA process in terms of how that works in relation to a challenge they are having at the moment. So I just mapped the process and explain what that looks like and the timelines and things like that. And also the previous one, just to pick up, there's one on CryptoBots, which have now minted out their new mint. So less relevant, but talking about the original 2017 project and the new project, which is available on secondary. So thanks a lot for your time. I'll see you next time. Hopefully that's been useful. Do, you know, like the video, subscribe, hit the bell, and add your comments and let me know what you'd like to see. Thanks a lot for your time.